Welcome to the last day of February. It's February 28th. It's a Monday, 2022. Your Day Weather Podcast brought to you by Chugwater Chili, the gourmet spice of Western life. Hopefully you've enjoyed some Chugwater Chili after this recent cold weather. Get 20% off by using Chugwater Don at chugwaterchili.com. Check out all their great products. Chugwater Don at checkout gets you 20% off. Well, we've got ourselves a good old-fashioned Chinook. Chinook, an Indian word for snow eater. As warm temperatures, warmer Pacific air comes downhill or downslope off the Rockies, the air sinks off the mountains, it gets compressed, and then you warm up the air. Anytime you compress a gas, you warm up that gas, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So we're going to have spring-like weather through Thursday. I can guarantee you, many of you are going to be having a little extra kick in your step over the next few days with these warmer temperatures and some sunshine, especially compared to what we had a week ago. Some precipitation early this week coming in for the Pacific Northwest, Washington, Oregon, parts of Northern California and Idaho, and Montana will be getting a little wet, while most of the central and southern Rockies and high plains will be dry. Now we have a small storm that needs watching Friday and Saturday. March starts tomorrow, and even though March starts off like a lamb, we're going to start to see the weather pattern get active this weekend. And it's March. When you get into March, April, and May, anybody that's lived around here knows that the weather can be changeable. Weather forecasts can change quickly. So we kind of have to heighten our senses a little bit and pay really close attention to the weather forecast. And especially with the long-range forecast that you see on your phone or online somewhere this time of year, really you don't want to go out more than 3 or 4 days. Then it's back to colder and unsettled weather this weekend and next week. So spring is not starting this week. It's just going to be spring-like. Got a couple of photos to show you. Now, I love this old analog thermometer. This comes from a shot from last week when temperatures were below zero. You can see we're well below zero here. But there's nothing that beats a good old-fashioned analog thermometer. We're so used to digital thermometers now. Nice to get kind of a classic shot there, then a beautiful shot from the Western Bighorns of Venus and the Moon over this past weekend. Just some beautiful sky watching. As you get into March and as you get into April, you get Orion up high in the sky in the evenings. It's just a good time to look at the stars and the planets. As we take a look at the satellite imagery, you can see that we don't have a lot going on right here, but you see all of these high and mid-level clouds. Basically, this is just a pipeline of Pacific moisture getting driven in to the Pacific Northwest. So this area right here is going to be getting into some areas of rain and mountain snow just from the jet stream pushing that moisture into the region. We got a swirl of clouds back here. We got a swirl of clouds here. We've got lots going on in the North Pacific. But in the meantime, before those lows off the North Pacific come, this is a westerly flow coast to coast. So other than up here where it's going to be colder and wet, the rest of the nation will enjoy a nice warm-up. But it's a bit of a false spring. Temperatures are going to really be warm up. This is for Wednesday. So we have a good solid 4 days of these mild temperatures. And if you were to kind of put a simple graphic together here, when you get the air that comes from the west, when you get the westerly winds that are perpendicular to the Continental Divide, when you sink the air, what will happen is the air rises on the windward side of the mountains and you get precipitation. This releases what's called latent heat. And this latent heat combined with the compression of sinking air coming downhill from gravity, you get a Chinook. So you get sunny skies with some high clouds and you get warmer, breezy conditions. And look at these temperatures across the United States by noon Wednesday. There's plenty of cold air up here still. And this is going to be a problem here in the coming weeks. But at least here, we've got a nice warm up across the nation, a real spring-like feel to everything. However, by noon Friday, it doesn't look like much, but we've got this little low swinging across near the Four Corners area with a low behind it. Now, when you have a couple of lows, instead of just one organized one, you're not going to have one big storm. But this is really typical this time of year. These little systems, as they jump over the divide, can sometimes intensify. And this is exactly what the European model is showing. This is Friday at noon. This is by Saturday morning. It's a quick mover, but a little bit more of an intense low forms just east of the divide overnight Friday and the Saturday morning. So it may not be a large system, but there could be an area of snow back on the back side of the system, the northwest quadrant of the low, Friday night and Saturday. So we got to watch that for parts of Wyoming, Nebraska, and Colorado. Then we've got another low swinging in behind it. And notice the jet stream is now carving out another trough across the west. That allows colder air in. By Saturday night into Sunday, that little low kicks off to the north and east. Another low comes in behind it. We got another one back here, another one back here. So this all adds up to the weather getting a lot more busy by this weekend into early next week. This is through Saturday night. Some impressive rain totals here in the Pacific Northwest, snow totals in the mountains. This is this area of precipitation we've got to watch. It isn't going to be a big system, but it's one of these systems that can be really sneaky and doesn't look like much. Then all of a sudden you're looking at several inches of snow in some areas. So we're going to keep an eye on this system here for Friday night and Saturday. Then we've got these other low systems coming in behind this one later in the weekend and early next week. These are temperatures by noon Sunday relative to averages. See the cold returning? The warmth is gone, and we're well below average in the Rockies in the west by this weekend again. And if we go out to Wednesday the 9th, we've got a large trough in the west, another little low coming in, the dig in behind it, high pressure established here, high pressure established here. This is the same configuration of last week. Now, we're not going to have another Arctic outbreak of the intensity of last week. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but this weekend and next week, relative to the 30-year averages, we're going to be pretty cold, and the snow chances go up. These are temperatures, the temperature anomaly by next Wednesday and Thursday. So enjoy this week because it's not a long-term trend. It's just a short little spring-like stretch of weather, which you get this time of year. That's perfectly normal. Have yourself a great Monday. We'll see you tomorrow on the first day of March.